Travis Scott is the worst person I worked with in my entire career in music. 8 people are dead and hundreds more are injured after Travis Scott's callous, reckless behavior at Astroworld. And I hate to be the one saying this, but I saw this coming and I tried to tell everyone. The story that D-Dot is telling is true. I'm Travis Scott's former manager. I'm the one who had a seizure, and I'm the one that he left for dead in a basement in Los Angeles. I originally told my account in 2013, and then it recirculated on Reddit about 6 years ago. The stories coming out of Astroworld and all the videos documenting the evidence are quite clear, and they align with what I know about Travis Scott. When he sees people in harm or danger, he tends to only continue thinking about himself. And to make it worse, he's been doing this for years at other concerts.
This is Travis Scott's former manager, Shane Morris, who says he was left for dead by Scott when having a seizure in LA. The big issue Morris has with Scott, amongst many, is his selfishness and lack of empathy for others. Many pointed to Scott refusing to hear out what appears to be production and workers at the festival, alerting him of what's transpiring in his crowd at his festival.
I was telling people, like, there are dead bodies over there, and nobody believed me.
Because of his indifference, who knows what could have been prevented? In effect, the ambulances that tried to tend to the wounded were swarmed by fans who hopped on and danced. These first responders to the chaos battled through a raucous crowd, encouraged by Travis Scott to rage. 8 people died, and many others were taken to the hospital.
Stop the show! Stop the show!
2 fans climbed up to the cameraman at the main stage, pleading with him to help stop the show. One of them spoke with ABC News.
I end up getting up on that stage, and I'm trying to like get Travis's attention and other people's attention, and then he's like telling us to get down. And
Aiden, speaking exclusively to ABC News, says he was hoping to save lives after almost losing his own in the crushing horror of the crowd below.
I just remember just having so much weight on my body, and I was pushing, I was fighting, and then I stopped because I was getting winded. I was using all the energy I had left in me, and I came to the point where I was accepting my death.
Flat out unacceptable from the top down. It was a preventable tragedy. And yet, it seems Scott, along with his team, isn't taking account for it. Something he has a history of doing. After the death of Michael Brown at the hands of Officer Darren Wilson in Ferguson, Missouri, Scott uttered, "I'm kind of angry. So many black people are acting like fake activists. I'm not saying Mike Brown deserved to get killed, but I'm not saying that he didn't deserve to pay for consequences he probably inflicted." Adding, the problem with black people is there always has to be a disruption when something like the Ferguson situation happens. And I know we're like fed up, quote unquote, with whatever's going on in culture, but at the same time, you gotta just stop putting yourself in positions where you're continuously having this situation go down, Scott said. On George Zimmerman's murder of 17-year-old Trayvon Martin, Scott told Hot 97, "That whole incident, black people just gotta be better about themselves. You just gotta change your ways." He would also blame black parents in this wild rant, saying, "Teach your kids something." Just one horrendous moment after another. The problem is he raises no issue with the system. He raises no issue with black people being the targets of police. He deflects from predominantly black neighborhoods being over-policed when it comes to surveillance and social control, and under-policed when it comes to emergency services, per one study from a tough sociologist. A report by Deidre McPhillips saw about 17% of the black people who died as a result of police harm were unarmed, a larger share than any other racial group, and about 1.3 times more than the average of 13%. Scott makes no mention, he just blames black people. Of nearly 100 million traffic stops by police departments nationwide found that black drivers were far more likely to be pulled over than white drivers. Scott must have missed this one as well. As Colin Kaepernick wrote, "It's not a matter of bad apples spoiling the bunch, but interlocking systems that are rotten to their core. And systemic problems demand systemic solutions." We have shown Scott's pattern in a previous piece. His indifference towards safety at his shows, the encouragement of fans to rush the stage or even on it and create mayhem is consistent. In closing, should we be surprised his ex-manager is speaking out on how little Scott cares? No, we shouldn't. Not in the slightest.